6 clear signs she wants to sleep with you. Stoic secrets. Deciphering desire. A Stoic's guide to recognizing attraction. Have you ever stood at a crossroads, the subtle signs of attraction swirling around you like a gentle breeze, unsure if you were witnessing genuine interest or simply projecting your own desires? The human heart is a complex landscape, and deciphering the signals of attraction can feel like navigating a labyrinth in the dark. Sometimes the indicators are as clear as a summer sky, a direct compliment, an enthusiastic agreement, a shared laugh that lingers just a beat too long. But more often, they are veiled in nuance, hidden in the unspoken language of body language, fleeting glances, and carefully chosen words. The frustration lies in the ambiguity, the constant question echoing in your mind. Is she interested, or am I simply imagining things? Many men, caught in the whirlwind of their own hopes and anxieties, often miss these crucial cues, blinded by their eagerness or paralyzed by the fear of rejection. They stumble through interactions, second-guessing every smile, every touch, every whispered word. But what if there was a way to approach these interactions with clarity, to observe the subtle dance of desire without being consumed by its flames? This is where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism offers a guiding light, a framework for understanding and navigating the complexities of attraction with equanimity and awareness. This exploration delves into 6 unmistakable signs that a woman may be signaling her interest in a more intimate connection. However, we will examine these signs not as a checklist for conquest, but as opportunities for deeper understanding and self-awareness. We will explore these indicators through the lens of Stoicism, a philosophy that emphasizes reason, virtue, and self-control. By adopting a Stoic perspective, you can learn to observe these signs without being swept away by emotion, allowing you to respond with genuine authenticity and integrity. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and reactions, and to accept what we cannot, such as the feelings and choices of others. This mindset is invaluable in the realm of attraction, where uncertainty and vulnerability often reign supreme. Instead of obsessing over whether a woman is attracted to you, you can focus on being the best version of yourself, confident, compassionate, and present in the moment. This approach not only increases your chances of attracting the right person, but also fosters a sense of inner peace and fulfillment, regardless of the outcome. Ultimately, the goal is not to become a master of seduction, but to cultivate a deeper understanding of human connection and to approach relationships with wisdom, respect, and emotional maturity. The journey to understanding attraction is a journey of self-discovery, and Stoicism provides a powerful roadmap for navigating this path with grace and integrity. Sign 1. Lingering eye contact, the soul's silent language. Let's begin with one of the most fundamental and often underestimated signs of attraction: lingering eye contact. The eyes, as the saying goes, are the windows to the soul, and in the intricate dance of human connection, they play a pivotal role in conveying interest, desire, and vulnerability. Eye contact is a powerful form of nonverbal communication, capable of transmitting a wealth of information in a single, fleeting glance. It can express warmth, empathy, confidence, and even challenge. Think about the last time you made meaningful eye contact with someone. The feeling of connection, of being seen and understood, can be deeply profound. In the context of attraction, eye contact becomes a subtle but potent indicator of interest. When someone is casually interested in you, they may make brief eye contact during conversation, but their gaze will typically drift away after a few seconds. This is simply a social norm, a way of acknowledging your presence without implying any deeper connection. However, when a woman holds your gaze for a noticeably longer duration, it is often a deliberate act, a subtle invitation to connect on a more intimate level. This lingering eye contact is not accidental. It is a conscious or subconscious signal that she is drawn to you and wants to explore the possibility of a deeper connection. Imagine you are engaged in a conversation with a woman, and as you speak, she locks eyes with you, her gaze unwavering. She doesn't look away, doesn't fidget or glance around the room. Instead, she maintains that connection, her eyes holding yours with a quiet intensity. Perhaps there's even a slight smile playing on her lips, a subtle acknowledgement of the shared moment. This is more than just politeness. It's an invitation, a silent communication that she's intrigued by you and wants to draw you into her world. She's signaling that she's interested in you on a deeper level, that she sees something in you that resonates with her. Now, the natural inclination in this situation might be to become flustered, to overthink the moment, or to act impulsively. You might feel a surge of excitement or anxiety, a desire to immediately escalate the interaction. But this is where the principles of Stoicism can guide you towards a more measured and authentic response. Stoicism teaches us to be calm, observant, and fully present in the moment, to avoid being swayed by our emotions, and to act with reason and virtue. As a Stoic, your goal is not to become a master of manipulation, but to cultivate inner peace and to respond to situations with integrity and self-control. Instead of reacting impulsively to her lingering gaze, you can choose to remain composed, to let the moment breathe. You can hold her gaze confidently, showing her that you have picked up on her signal without making the situation awkward or overwhelming. This calm confidence is a hallmark of the Stoic man. It's not about playing games or feigning disinterest, but about being genuinely comfortable in your own skin and trusting in the natural unfolding of events. You're not chasing after her attention. You're allowing her to come to you, to explore the connection at her own pace. This approach is far more attractive than desperation or neediness, as it demonstrates self-assurance and emotional maturity. Stoicism emphasizes awareness, not overreaction. It's about recognizing the significance of her lingering eye contact without allowing it to control your emotions or dictate your actions. You acknowledge the signal, but you don't let it inflate your ego or lead you to make assumptions about her intentions. You remain grounded in the present moment, observing her behavior and responding with authenticity and respect. It's also crucial to consider the context of the interaction. Is she naturally a very direct person who makes strong eye contact with everyone? Or is this lingering gaze unique to your interactions? Is she comfortable and relaxed? Or does she seem nervous or hesitant? These subtle nuances can provide valuable clues about her true feelings. Furthermore, it's important to avoid misinterpreting shyness for disinterest. Some women may be naturally reserved and may struggle to maintain eye contact, even if they are genuinely attracted to you. In these cases, it's crucial to look for other signs of interest, such as a warm smile, a playful touch, or a willingness to engage in conversation. Reflect on your past experiences. How often have you noticed a woman holding eye contact with you for an extended period, only to brush it off as nothing? Perhaps you attributed it to politeness, or maybe you were too preoccupied with your own thoughts to notice the subtle cues she was sending. By becoming more aware of this sign, you can avoid missing out on potential connections and develop a deeper understanding of human interaction. The key takeaway here is that lingering eye contact is a powerful signal of attraction, but it should be interpreted within the context of the interaction and in conjunction with other signs. By adopting a Stoic mindset, you can approach these situations with calmness, awareness, and a genuine desire to connect on a deeper level. Sign 2. Intentional touch, breaking the physical barrier. Let's now turn our attention to another crucial indicator of attraction: intentional touch. Touch is one of the most primal and intimate forms of communication, a way of connecting with another human being on a physical and emotional level. From a gentle pat on the back to a passionate embrace, touch can convey a wide range of emotions, including comfort, support, affection, and desire. When it comes to attraction, touch becomes an especially potent signal, a way of testing the waters and exploring the possibility of a closer connection. However, it's also one of the easiest signs to misinterpret, as cultural norms and individual preferences can greatly influence the appropriateness of touch. What might be considered a friendly gesture in one context could be perceived as inappropriate or even offensive in another. Therefore, it's crucial to pay close attention to the intention behind the touch. rather than simply focusing on the act itself. The key lies in discerning whether the touch is casual and perfunctory or deliberate and meaningful. A fleeting brush against your arm as she walks by is unlikely to be a sign of attraction, but a lingering touch on your hand while you're talking could be a different story altogether. When a woman touches you deliberately, whether it's a light brush on the arm, a playful tap on the shoulder, or a hand placed gently on your knee, it's not just a random act. It's a calculated move, a subtle way of testing the waters and gauging your reaction. She's trying to see how you'll respond to her physical presence, whether you'll reciprocate the touch, and whether you're comfortable with her breaking the invisible barrier of personal space. This is a vulnerable act on her part, as she's putting herself out there and risking rejection. She's signaling that she's comfortable around you, that she trusts you, and that she's open to exploring a closer connection. Now, it's important to distinguish between different types of touch. A brief, accidental touch is unlikely to be significant, but a touch that lingers, that is repeated, or that occurs in a more intimate area of the body is a much stronger indicator of attraction. For example, if she repeatedly touches your arm during conversation, finds subtle ways to initiate physical contact, or lightly places her hand on your shoulder, these are all signs that she's comfortable around you and that she's interested in a closer connection. These aren't random gestures. They're intentional signals of attraction, a way of inviting you to cross the physical boundary and enter her personal space. Stoicism teaches us to stay present and to notice the small things, to be attentive to the subtle nuances of human interaction. A Stoic man, however, doesn't get flustered or carried away by this physical contact. He doesn't overreact or jump to conclusions. Instead, he remains grounded, recognizing her gesture for what it is, a sign of interest, an invitation to connect on a deeper level. Stoicism isn't about ignoring these cues or suppressing your desires. It's about calmly understanding their deeper meaning and responding with integrity and self-control. You acknowledge her touch, but you don't let it dictate your actions. You remain composed, observing her behavior and responding with authenticity and respect. When she touches you repeatedly in different contexts, it's her way of inviting a closer connection, of signaling that she's interested in exploring the possibility of a more intimate relationship. She's essentially saying, "I'm comfortable with you, I trust you, and I'm open to seeing where this could lead." This is a powerful message, and it's important to respond with sensitivity and awareness. It's also crucial to consider the context of the touch. Where are you? What are you doing? Who else is around? A touch in a crowded bar might be interpreted differently than a touch during a quiet dinner. Consider this real-life example. You're sitting at a table, engaged in a stimulating conversation, and she lightly touches your arm while laughing at something you said. The touch lasts just a second longer than usual, a subtle but noticeable extension of the physical connection. This is no accident. It's a deliberate gesture, a way of signaling her interest and testing your reaction. As a Stoic man, you would take notice of this, but you wouldn't get overly excited or jump to conclusions. Instead, you would stay composed and let her see that you're in control of the situation. You might respond with a warm smile, a playful comment, or a gentle touch of your own. The key is to reciprocate the connection without being overly aggressive or needy. The more composed you are, the more intrigued she becomes. She's looking for a man who is confident, self-assured, and emotionally mature, someone who can handle her advances with grace and integrity. By maintaining your composure and responding with authenticity, you demonstrate these qualities and increase your attractiveness in her eyes. Think about this. Have you ever been touched by someone in a way that made you feel uncomfortable or uneasy? Perhaps it was too forceful, too intrusive, or too suggestive. This is a reminder that touch is a powerful tool, and it should be used with respect and sensitivity. Sign 3. Seeking private conversations, creating intimate spaces. One of the clearest signs that a woman is interested in more than just casual interaction is when she starts seeking you out for private conversations. Whether it's in a crowded room, at a social gathering, or even through text messages, if she's making a conscious effort to get alone with you, that's a powerful indication of deeper interest. This desire for private conversation stems from a need for intimacy, a longing to connect with you on a more personal and meaningful level. She's not just interested in surface-level chatter. She wants to delve deeper, to explore your thoughts, feelings, and experiences in a more intimate setting. These private conversations allow for a greater level of vulnerability and authenticity, creating a space where you can both open up and connect on a more profound level. It's a way of signaling that she sees you as someone special, someone she trusts, and someone she wants to get to know better. Let's break it down. If she suggests stepping outside for some fresh air, away from the noise and distractions of a party, or if she texts you late at night when others aren't around, these aren't random acts of spontaneity. They're intentional efforts to create moments where it's just the two of you, where you can connect without the interference of external influences. She's testing your response, seeing if you're willing to reciprocate her desire for privacy and intimacy. She wants to know if you're on the same page, if you're also interested in building a deeper connection. This desire for privacy is often driven by a need for safety and security. It's easier to open up and be vulnerable when you feel like you're in a safe and protected environment, free from judgment and interruption. By creating these private moments, she's trying to establish a sense of trust and intimacy, a space where you can both feel comfortable sharing your thoughts and feelings. Here's where Stoicism comes into play. Stoicism teaches us to be self-aware and clear-minded in our interactions, to approach relationships with reason and virtue, and to avoid being swayed by our emotions. A Stoic man recognizes that when a woman seeks out these private moments, she's showing vulnerability. She's taking a risk by opening herself up to you, by signaling her desire for a more personal connection. Instead of jumping to conclusions or rushing into things, you stay grounded. You observe her actions, listen to her words, and let the moment unfold naturally. You don't pressure her or try to force the situation. You simply allow her to set the pace, respecting her boundaries and creating a safe and supportive environment. By doing so, you demonstrate that you're a trustworthy and emotionally intelligent man, someone who values her feelings and respects her autonomy. Consider this example scenario. You're at a party, surrounded by friends and acquaintances, and she suggests going outside for a moment to get away from the noise. In that moment, she's creating a space for just the two of you, a private oasis in the midst of a crowded social gathering. It's her way of saying that she's interested in building a connection with you, emotionally and perhaps physically. She wants to escape the superficiality of the party and delve into something more meaningful, something more intimate. As a Stoic, you don't rush or pressure the situation. You remain calm, engaging in conversation and allowing her to express herself freely. You listen attentively, asking thoughtful questions and sharing your own thoughts and feelings in a genuine and authentic way. The key is to create a sense of connection and intimacy without being overly aggressive or needy. You want her to feel comfortable and safe, to know that you're genuinely interested in getting to know her better. Think about this. Have you ever had someone go out of their way to talk to you privately, but you didn't think much of it? Perhaps you dismissed it as politeness or friendliness, failing to recognize the underlying message. What if that was her way of signaling interest, of trying to establish a deeper connection with you? By becoming more aware of this sign, you can avoid missing out on potential opportunities for romance and build more meaningful relationships with the women in your life. Sign 4. Flirtatious body language, the unspoken dialogue of attraction. Body language often speaks louder than words, and when it comes to attraction, this is especially true. Our bodies are constantly communicating, conveying a wealth of information about our thoughts, feelings, and intentions, often without us even being aware of it. Subconscious gestures, subtle facial expressions, and postural cues can reveal our true feelings, even when we're trying to hide them. When a woman is interested in you on a deeper level, her body will often reveal it before she ever says a word. She may lean in closer when you talk, touch her hair while maintaining eye contact, or angle her body towards you in a subtle but deliberate way. These nonverbal cues are often subconscious, driven by instinct and emotion, and they can provide valuable insights into her true feelings. Stoicism teaches us to be attentive to these nonverbal cues because they can be the most honest form of communication. Words can be deceptive, but body language is often a more accurate reflection of our true emotions. By learning to read these subtle signals, you can gain a deeper understanding of human interaction and improve your ability to connect with others on a more meaningful level. So, what should you be looking for? Start by noticing how she positions herself around you. Is she facing you directly, or is she turned away? Is she leaning in closer when you talk, or is she maintaining a distance? If she's consistently positioning herself in a way that creates closeness and intimacy, that's a strong indication that she's interested in you. If she leans in closer when you talk, she's breaking that invisible barrier of personal space, signaling that she's comfortable being close to you and that she's interested in what you have to say. It's her way of creating a sense of intimacy without having to say anything explicit. Similarly, if she mirrors your movements, that's another sign that she's attracted to you. Mirroring is a subconscious behavior that occurs when people are trying to build rapport and connection. If she unconsciously mimics your posture, your gestures, or your facial expressions, it's a sign that she's trying to align herself with you and create a sense of shared understanding. Stoicism helps you stay grounded and composed, allowing you to notice these subtle shifts without reacting impulsively. You observe her body language, but you don't let it control your emotions or dictate your actions. You remain present in the moment, responding with authenticity and respect. Then, pay attention to how she plays with her hair or touches her face. These small gestures are often subconscious signs of nervous excitement or attraction. When a woman is attracted to someone, she may become more aware of her appearance and may unconsciously try to make herself look more appealing. Playing with her hair, touching her face, or adjusting her clothing are all ways of drawing attention to herself and signaling her interest. If her legs are crossed and pointed in your direction, that's another subtle signal that she's interested. Body language experts believe that the direction of our feet and legs can reveal our subconscious desires. If her legs are pointed towards you, it's a sign that she's drawn to you and wants to be closer to you. The key here is not to overthink or get too eager. A Stoic man recognizes these signals, but he doesn't rush into action. He allows the moment to build naturally, maintaining a balance between confidence and patience. He doesn't try to force the situation or pressure her into anything she's not comfortable with. Instead, he creates a safe and supportive environment where she can express herself freely and authentically. Consider this real-life example. You're talking to a woman, and she's playing with her hair while maintaining eye contact. Perhaps she's twirling a strand of hair around her finger, or maybe she's gently touching her neck. These are all signs that she's attracted to you, that she's nervous and excited, and that she's trying to make herself look more appealing. Or perhaps she's leaning in closer, her body angled towards you, her eyes sparkling with interest. These are all signs that she's drawn to you and wants to be closer to you. A Stoic man would remain calm, acknowledging these cues without getting carried away. He would maintain eye contact, listen attentively, and respond with authenticity and respect. He wouldn't try to take advantage of the situation or pressure her into anything she's not comfortable with. Instead, he would create a safe and supportive environment where she can express herself freely and authentically. Sign 5. Frequent compliments, a verbal affirmation of attraction. Compliments are a common form of social interaction, a way of expressing appreciation, admiration, or approval. We often compliment others on their appearance, their accomplishments, or their personality traits as a way of building rapport and creating positive connections. However, when a woman frequently compliments your appearance, it's more than just casual flattery. It's a signal that she's paying close attention to how you look and how you present yourself, which often means she's drawn to you physically and emotionally. These compliments are not just about superficial admiration. They're about acknowledging your attractiveness and signaling her interest in a more intimate connection. She's essentially saying, "I find you appealing, and I want you to know it." These compliments can take many forms, from subtle observations about your clothing or hairstyle to more direct statements about your physique or your smile. The key is to pay attention to the frequency and the sincerity of the compliments. If she's consistently complimenting you, and if her compliments seem genuine and heartfelt, that's a strong indication that she's attracted to you. Here's where Stoicism plays a role. A Stoic man doesn't let compliments inflate his ego, nor does he brush them off as insignificant. He acknowledges them for what they are, indications of deeper interest, signals of attraction. He doesn't allow the compliments to define his self-worth or dictate his actions. Instead, he remains grounded, recognizing that true value comes from within. Stoicism teaches us to be self-aware and to avoid being swayed by external validation. We should strive to cultivate inner peace and contentment, regardless of what others think of us. This doesn't mean that we should ignore compliments or dismiss them as meaningless. It simply means that we shouldn't let them control our emotions or dictate our sense of self-worth. We can acknowledge them with gratitude, but we shouldn't allow them to inflate our ego or make us dependent on external validation. If a woman compliments your physique, your smile, or the way you carry yourself, it's her way of expressing that she's attracted to more than just your looks. She's drawn to your presence, your confidence, and how you make her feel. She sees something in you that resonates with her, and she wants you to know it. A Stoic man remains composed in these moments, not letting the compliments dictate his self-worth, but recognizing that they are meaningful signs of attraction. He responds with gratitude and humility, acknowledging her appreciation without becoming arrogant or boastful. He might say something like, "Thank you, I appreciate that," or "That's very kind of you to say." The key is to be genuine and sincere, expressing your gratitude without letting the compliment go to your head. Real-life scenario, she might say, "You always look so well put together," or "You smell amazing." These compliments aren't just about physical appearance. They're about how you make her feel in your presence. She's drawn to your style, your confidence, and the way you carry yourself. She feels comfortable and relaxed around you, and she wants you to know it. A Stoic man acknowledges the compliment, but doesn't let it control his reaction. He remains calm and collected, showing that he's confident without needing validation. He might respond with a playful smile, a witty remark, or a genuine expression of gratitude. The key is to maintain a balance between confidence and humility, showing that you're comfortable in your own skin without being arrogant or self-absorbed. Sign 6. Bringing up sexual topics, testing the waters of intimacy. The most direct sign that a woman is interested in a more intimate connection is when she starts bringing up sexual topics or making suggestive comments. This isn't something that happens by accident. Women are often more subtle than men when expressing their desires, and by introducing these topics, she's testing the waters to see how you'll react. She's trying to gauge your level of interest, your comfort with sexual topics, and your overall maturity. She wants to know if you're on the same page, if you're also interested in exploring a more intimate connection. This can be a vulnerable move on her part, as she's risking rejection or misinterpretation. She's putting herself out there, signaling her desires, and hoping that you'll respond in a way that makes her feel safe and respected. A Stoic man doesn't jump at the opportunity or get carried away by excitement. Instead, he stays grounded, listens carefully, and responds thoughtfully. He recognizes that she's testing the waters and that her comments are not necessarily an invitation to immediate action. He understands that she's looking for a man who is mature, confident, and respectful, someone who can handle the conversation with poise and intelligence. When a woman brings up sexual topics, she's looking to see if you're mature enough to handle the conversation with confidence and poise. She wants to know if you can engage in a frank and open discussion about sex without being crude, vulgar, or disrespectful. She's also looking to see if you're sensitive to her boundaries and if you're respectful of her autonomy. If you respond with maturity, respect, and a genuine interest in her thoughts and feelings, you'll signal that you're a safe and trustworthy partner. Example: maybe she makes a playful remark about a scene in a movie or mentions something flirtatious she overheard at work. She's testing your response to see if you're on the same page. As a Stoic, you remain composed, engaging with the conversation but not rushing into anything. You might respond with a witty retort, a thoughtful observation, or a playful challenge. The key is to maintain a balance between humor and respect, showing that you're comfortable with the topic without being overly suggestive or aggressive. Your calmness shows that you're in control of your desires and emotions, which only makes you more attractive in her eyes. You're not driven by lust or desperation. You're a man of reason and virtue, someone who is capable of making thoughtful and considered decisions. Conclusion: the Stoics' path to understanding attraction. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control the actions of others, we can control how we respond to them. When it comes to attraction, this mindset is crucial. We cannot force someone to be attracted to us, nor can we control their thoughts, feelings, or desires. However, we can control our own actions, our own attitudes, and our own responses to the situations we encounter. We can choose to be calm, observant, and respectful, regardless of the outcome. Recognizing these 6 signs is about understanding human behavior on a deeper level, without jumping to conclusions or acting impulsively. It's about becoming more aware of the subtle cues that people send, both verbally and non-verbally, and learning to interpret them with accuracy and empathy. If you can spot these signs in a woman, chances are she's signaling that she's interested in more than just casual conversation. She's inviting you to connect with her on a deeper level, to explore the possibility of a more intimate relationship. But as a true Stoic, you remain patient, calm, and composed, allowing the connection to build naturally. You don't rush into things, you don't pressure her, and you don't try to force the situation. You simply allow her to set the pace, respecting her boundaries and creating a safe and supportive environment where she can express herself freely and authentically. There's no need to rush, because confidence lies in knowing that everything will unfold as it should. You trust in the natural order of things, knowing that if it's meant to be, it will be. You focus on being the best version of yourself, cultivating inner peace and contentment, and trusting that the right person will be drawn to your authenticity and integrity. This approach not only increases your chances of attracting the right person, but also fosters a sense of inner peace and fulfillment, regardless of the outcome. Ultimately, the goal is not to become a master of seduction, but to cultivate a deeper understanding of human connection and to approach relationships with wisdom, respect, and emotional maturity. The journey to understanding attraction is a journey of self-discovery, and Stoicism provides a powerful roadmap for navigating this path with grace and integrity.